Okay, so this is part 2 to how bipolar diagnosis helped me find balance. So I was kind of halfway through a story that I was telling before it all cut off. So now I'll see if I can continue on that story for you. So I was sitting on this chair in the middle of Toulouse, and it was really noisy and busy. I just closed my eyes and I just kind of sat in stillness. I'm very good at kind of not having too many thoughts and just being there in the present, in a kind of an empty state. And so I just sat there in emptiness and just kind of could tell that there was a lot of noise around me, but it didn't bother me too much. It was all just there in the background. And then this thing came in, and I felt like, yes, it's that girl with bipolar. And I think it was like that kind of little feeling that only she could help herself. I can't help her. I can't be the one that helps her. She has to get to that place herself. So it kind of, I suppose, for a little moment there, made me feel like disappointed or powerless um, and but when I kind of realized that and acknowledged it and was able to pinpoint it, that kind of feeling of sadness went away, and I was like, okay, that's what it is. you know so 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 what I want to say about this finding balance thing is really realizing at the stage when I had the episode was that I was completely out of balance. I was completely mentally kind of overloaded with too many thoughts of the past and the future, and that there was like just so much fullness inside here that you just had to kind of explode and let it all out, because you just couldn't handle the amount of pain or sadness or kind of anxiety or worry for the future, or like I don't know, just all the kind of frustration or anger or whatever it might be. Everything just kind of gets too much, and I realized afterwards that I couldn't carry on living a life like that, and that I had to find a way to be balanced, to find balance, so that I wouldn't need to go on medication for the rest of my life, so that I could find a way to live in a balanced, happy, not always happy, there's ups and downs, but I know how to live in that state of up and down and it not be like a huge issue, that I can deal with it. I can be there with the sadness. I can be there with the anger. I can feel and notice and express my frustration, and then you live through it. You go through it to the other side, and what is on the other side? Well, you have a new experience of just less inside of you that's kind of all engulfing and encompassing and just like too much. You start kind of emptying out bit by bit, and you kind of leave stuff at the side and behind you, and then actually you don't need to pick it up again. You don't need that anymore. You just leave it, and then you move on to a life without that, that's freer, emptier, more pleasant, more joyful, and more rich, and more possibility for kind of change or adaptation or contentment, and just being here now, being present with whoever's in front of you, having that conversation, and not always thinking, oh, what am I going to say next, or oh, how does that make me feel. I'm just with them. I have that awareness, and everything's all right, really. So I've got to that place through an awful lot of learning, an awful lot of crying, an awful lot of conversations and discussions with therapists or my husband or my mum or my dad or whatever, and just kind of, slowly kind of working through things until you're, in a place of everything's okay, everything's going to be okay, everything is okay. um yeah. So be prepared to learn about yourself, be prepared to delve inside. Sometimes it's really difficult and sometimes it's really painful. I remember when there were times I was seeing a therapist, and I'd ring them up and I'd say, but I don't know what to do. This is extremely horrible, intense pain in my heart, and I don't know what to do with it. How can I live with this pain in my heart, and like an emotional pain that's so physical, and just kind of going through the days and the weeks until that starts dissipating and changing. And you have to go through these things to get to the other side. And I just want to tell you that, stick with it. You have to be patient, very, very patient. You have to want to find what is that you on the other side, that's different to now. How will life be better afterwards? You have to persevere, and go through those difficult times, however difficult they are, whatever it is in your past that you have to kind of ease out of your system. Whatever way you want to do that and you want to go about it, then just find that way that's right for you. Because I tell you, life is so much better without all of that rubbish and shit that you're holding on to. It's really not necessary, and it's so much lighter and easy and joyful, and you can just notice your surroundings and be with people, and it can, and yeah, you'll only know what I mean when you get there and you felt it yourself, and you realized what you were like and how you are now, and how much you've kind of progressed and kind of moved forward through that time. But you have to keep going inside, keep going inside, keep going inside, keep going inside, keep working on different aspects and different parts of, you know, the diversity of what's inside. And then in time you'll just peel away these different layers and heaviness, and you'll just kind of, you'll find out what's that real you inside of you, what's that real self that you can live and enjoy and be with. So life is about being, not doing all the time. And I had a note right next to my front door saying, being, not doing, and then I had a smiley face, and it was just to remind myself to kind of be here, and it's not about doing all the time. So do whatever it takes and keep persevering, and then one day you will find much more balance, and you'll see how lovely that is. So that was part 2 of how bipolar diagnosis helped me find balance, and I'm sure there are various techniques that I can talk to you about in the future. If you want me to talk about that in more detail, then please pose me questions and I can add that to my list of films to talk to you about. See you again soon. Bye.